Hi everyone, today we are making baklava. I'm so excited to show you this recipe because I was super intimidated at first, but it turned out to be really simple and really good. I am adapting Jet Set Forks recipe because it is kind of tropical, but I did not do everything that they did, but let's go ahead and get started. So we will be using phyllo dough. I'm new to phyllo dough and did have to get it from Whole Foods, so like my local Kroger and Sprouts didn't have it, but I found it. And then also you can use whatever nuts you like. I did mix together walnuts and pistachios, and then as well we'll need some coconut oil and then a syrup of some sort. I used a ginger syrup, which I also got from Whole Foods, but traditionally baklava is made with like just a regular simple syrup, or like I think like a simple syrup with lemon juice. So anyway, we are going to put the nuts into a food processor and pulse them until they're kind of like grainy. I did use a pound of nuts, so I did half pistachios and half walnuts. And then we will mix in some coconut oil and then also mix in some of that ginger syrup. And again, I will link the video to Jet Set Forks recipe so that you can see the exact amounts. And then we'll give all of that a nice little stir so that your nut mixture is like held together but not like super wet. And then set that to the side and begin to assemble. Now again, I cannot stress enough that this was my first time working with phyllo dough. As you can see, it's like really long, so you are to cut it in half. One of my lessons learned on this recipe was I wish I would have measured it a little bit better, because you can already see that the phyllo dough is bigger than my 9x13 Pyrex dish, but it's fine. It worked. Like, it did not like ruin anything. But we do want to start with some coconut oil on the Pyrex dish, and then we're going to layer as follows. We're going to do 2 sheets of the phyllo dough and then brush it with coconut oil, 2 sheets of the phyllo dough, brush it with coconut oil, etc. until you have 4 rounds of that, or 8 pieces of phyllo dough. And I know for me, I was wondering, like, was I using too much coconut oil? Like, I felt like it was kind of pooling in certain areas, but honestly, everything turned out like fine. So I say, if you feel like you're doing too much, you're probably not. And the phyllo dough is super, super, super thin. Like, nobody could have prepared me for how thin phyllo dough is. So as you can see, I'm like trying to manipulate it and put it like back into place, but again, totally fine. So after you have all 8 pieces of the phyllo dough down, you're going to start with layering your nuts. So you're going to go nut mixture, 2 pieces of phyllo dough, and then coconut oil. And you're going to do that until you run out of your nut mixture. For me, that was 3 layers of that process. And I would say, like, don't skimp on the nuts. Like, I think I was kind of worried about like stretching it and having enough layers with the nuts, but I think the 3 layers were perfect. So if you can portion it out like that, I think that would probably be the right thing to do. And then once you're out of the nut mixture, we're going to do 2 layers of phyllo dough and coconut oil. Repeat that 4 times so that we have the 8 pieces of phyllo dough on top yet again. If that makes sense. So we've got 8 pieces of phyllo dough on the bottom, we've got the layers of nuts in between, and then the 8 pieces of phyllo dough on the top. So after you put on your final piece of phyllo dough, we will brush that with coconut oil yet again, and then you want to go ahead and cut that before you bake it. I did the little triangle cuts as well, so that I would have those cute little triangle pieces, and then that bakes in the oven for about like 20 minutes, I think at like 350. I'll put on the screen exactly what it is. While that's baking, you can go ahead and make the syrup mixture. So I'm using the ginger syrup and some honey and just whisking that around really good. And we're going to pour that onto the baklava as soon as it comes out of the oven. So as you can see, everything browned up really nicely. We've got the transparency a little bit in the dough. And now I'm literally just pouring that syrup into the cracks of my cuts. And then we are able to actually eat it after it is set for at least an hour. So You can see me going in here with my little spatula, so I struggle a little bit, but look how good that looks. I love how the layers came out, and I understand why now it's so many layers on the top and the bottom. This was flaky and crispy, and then it was sweet yet kind of spicy. I don't want to use the word spicy, but from the ginger syrup. And it was just an all-around like different dessert. Like I really, really, really enjoyed having this. I actually had my really good friend over the day that I made this, and she kind of thought of it as like a breakfast dish. So I don't know if people eat baklava for breakfast, but I guess it's possible. So yeah, this is how it turned out. Leave me a comment and let me know if you've ever had baklava or if you make it. And then also, do you do anything special with it aside from like, just like the regular simple syrup, or what kind of nuts you like to use? I want to say that Jet Set Fork used macadamia nuts in theirs, which I'm sure was really good too. Alrighty, y'all, that's all I got. Thank you so much for stopping by. And of course, if you liked today's video, please give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. I love to engage with you. And subscribe if you want to see more. Have a great one. Bye.